What's cracking, noob?
Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, and in today's video, we're going to be going over a brand new article from TV Insider where we have an interview from Greg Nicotero where he discusses The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, going back to how the show once was back at the beginning. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. And in today's video, we're going to be going over an article from TV Insider that has this one for us for today. They discuss the Daryl Dixon series, and they talk about how this is going to take us back to the beginning of The Walking Dead. So I thought this was a pretty interesting statement. I thought we would go ahead and cover this one because that is a pretty bold statement to put out for a new Walking Dead spinoff series. We got ourselves about 2.5 weeks, and then we'll be able to watch this on AMC Plus. I think as of this Thursday, we'll be like 2 weeks away from AMC Plus release date, so that'll be pretty amazing. I'm definitely excited to get back into the Walking Dead stuff. I'm excited to get into whatever this Daryl series has to offer for us, and then of course Fear later on this year. But yeah, it should be good. So this one comes from TV Insider, where basically Greg Nicotero kind of touches base on the Daryl series, and he says the following, which we'll read it for you guys, and then we'll go over what it all means. As executive producer, Greg Nicotero observes, Dixon takes us back to the beginning of what the DNA of The Walking Dead started as, which is a man on a mission. These zombies have mutated to a point where they touch you or bite you or their blood gets on you. It burns you significantly. Nicotero says, it changes all the rules and will have you screaming as you watch. So it sounds pretty interesting to me. This is definitely again, a very interesting statement. It basically says that Daryl Dixon is going to go back to what the essence of The Walking Dead was back in season 1. And it sounds like it has a lot to do with, which again they touch on, the zombies. It sounds like the new burners that they've introduced, which we did a video on a few days back. These new walkers really is going to insert the fear into The Walking Dead again. And it's really going to change the game. And it's really going to feel like the early days of The Walking Dead, where it's like, we don't know how to survive this type of stuff. We don't know what this is. We don't know what the hell kind of obstacles we're going to face next. And it's bringing that vibe back to where the zombies are actually the real problem, you know? Because obviously in the trailer for the Daryl show, you know, we have the guy named Codron. We have some of the other guys that are, you know, going after him. But that's like, you know, seems to be kind of like side things. It seems like the big thing about Daryl's show is these new walkers that are going to be a big problem for them, and these burners that, you know, even if their blood gets on you, you know, that's the end of it. That's the end of the game. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, Daryl is a great character to do that too, because Daryl can survive basically anything. I mean, Daryl has survived some of the most unspeakable things I could ever imagine in any TV show, you know, any show. So with this show, going back to the essence of what The Walking Dead is. Now, I don't think they necessarily mean the overall vibe of the show, you know. I mean, maybe the only thing that will feel the same to The Walking Dead season 1 is that, like Nicotero said, it is a man on a mission, which I didn't really realize that until I heard this, which I found kind of interesting, is that in The Walking Dead season 1, Rick was on a mission, and he was facing zombies for the first time, and he was trying to find his family, and et cetera, et cetera. And in this one, it's really the same thing. I mean, you know, a man is looking for his family, he's trying to get through, you know, the tough times. He goes into a city full of, you know, people that he doesn't know. It's definitely a very similar concept, and I didn't really think about it until it was put that way. But Greg Nicotero put it in a way that kind of really just made me realize, like, yeah, there are some similarities to The Walking Dead season 1 and, you know, Daryl Dixon season 1. Now, obviously, we have to see Daryl Dixon fully through to kind of, you know, be able to fully say if that's true, but I definitely can see the vibe, you know. There's, you know, dangerous zombies again. The zombies are actually dangerous. You have to be careful around the zombies. You know, these burners, if one of them's a burner, that could definitely be a major problem. So you may want to try to avoid zombies as much as you can instead of just going up there and killing them, you know, which is, again, something we haven't really seen since, like, the Whispers, right? They kind of tested that with the Whispers, where it's like, you know, when you go up to them, watch their hands, make sure that they, you know, don't try to attack you. And the burners is kind of a similar thing. I mean, it's not as deadly as the Whispers, but it is one of those things where it's like, okay, you can't just walk up to them nonchalantly anymore and just take one out, you know? You have have to actually pay attention. Like, does it have some of that stuff on their arms? Is the zombie, have like smoke coming off of it and stuff like that? Because if it does, then there might be a bit of a problem, right? And you may not want to approach them. So it could definitely do for some really interesting scenes. And I would love, to be honest, I don't know if this show is going to go there, but I would love to see an old-fashioned just zombie bite, or a zombie tearing somebody apart. Call me cold and call me crazy or whatever, but I miss the days where Walking Dead would show blood and gore and, someone's face getting ripped off, Again, it might sound crazy, but that's what made Walking Dead so good. And if we're going back to what made The Walking Dead so good back in the day, if we're really truly going back to what, the DNA of what The Walking Dead is, as Greg Nicotero says, I want some blood and gore. I want somebody's face getting ripped off on camera and we actually see that shit, That is some impressive stuff. That's some stuff that Walking Dead always does best, and it's what Greg Nicotero does best too. And I feel like that's why they hired him on this show instead of putting him on Dead City or Rick and Michonne, is because this show is really going to focus on some different type of zombies. This show is going to focus on some probably really old school gore that Walking Dead didn't have before. So if that's what they're doing, I'm down for it. I'm down for some gore. I'm down for some, old school Walking Dead vibes. I'm down for all of that, pretty much. I think this is a really great piece of information. And again, I didn't realize what this show really did feel like until I heard Greg Nicotero said it. But, it is. It's a man on a mission trying to get back to his family. It is very much the same. Nothing's going to touch the original Walking Dead Season 1, though. That's one thing I'll say. This is not going to be as good as The Walking Dead Season 1. I guarantee that. But at the same time, I think it's going to be an interesting story. I think we're going to have a lot of really cool things to kind of pick up on. And like I said, if we can go back to what The Walking Dead was about back then, where they weren't afraid to show blood and gore. They weren't afraid to, show zombie bites and show, characters dying in really, gruesome and graphic ways. I think that would go a long way for this show. I really think so. I think that Walking Dead definitely needs to go back to that gory, crazy vibe, and I think maybe this show might be the one to do that, so we'll have to see. But anyway, write your comments in the comment section below. What do you guys make of this article? What do you guys make of this kind of, different way of putting it for the Daryl show? Let me know. And do you think it's a good idea for them to put Greg Nicotero on this show? Because I have a feeling that they're probably doing this on purpose because there's going to be a lot of gore in this show. So I'm down for it. Hey, if you're sitting here watching zombie content, that's usually the stuff, I'd say you should look out for. That's why I like zombie content, is because it's so crazy and it's so out there. So, hey, I'm down for it. Some more gore, some more crazy stuff. Going back to the OG Walking Dead days, I'm good with that. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, guys, and you enjoyed this video, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos for The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. Make sure to follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead Reviews on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos for Daryl Dixon. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys, and peace out.